She wanna know me, I stay low key, all gas, no brakes, baby, let them.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Blake. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. So I thought it would be a fun idea to show you how I do my makeup in 10 minutes while also answering 10 questions about myself and I don't know, just how I think, I guess is the best way to explain it. So it's going to get started with my brows because that's what I always start with. So the first question is, what was the best vacation you ever took and why? So the best vacation I ever took was in 2018. I got the opportunity to go to Germany with my friends, and we spent about 3 weeks there because at the time I was in college. So you know, in college you get like damn near a month off for winter break. So that's what I did. I spent Christmas and New Year's in Germany, and honestly, and it was my first time out of the country as well. So it was honestly so fun. It was cold at the time, which it was kind of like, I was kind of sad, but not really, because I just like to be in like hot places. But yeah, it was so fun. And we got to go to like the Christmas markets. We went to like 2 different Christmas markets because that's really popular in Germany is Christmas markets. And now as far as the food, I don't think I really tried any different food, but again, that was our first time there. We really didn't even know like how to navigate. Like we did, but we didn't, because the reason I got to go was because my friend's mom, she lives there for a job. So that's why we ended up getting to go. First week we were there, we slept because the time change was so hard to get used to that we were just like, what the heck? So when it was daytime there, it was nighttime back where we were from. So we definitely had a hard time getting adjusted, but it ended up being the best trip, and it was like my first out of the country trip. So yeah, but that was why. It was because I was there with my friends, and that was my first out of the country trip that I got to take when I was like, I mean I was in college, but I was still young, and not everybody gets to say like they've been like out of the country. So, but okay, so I filled my eyebrows in, and I just put a little bit of concealer on my eyes to get started with the eyeshadow. And we're gonna move on to the next question. So question number 2 says, are you more of an introvert or extrovert? I would say I'm definitely more of an introvert because I'm just very shy. And so when I meet new people, I'm not really the type of person to like be the first one to like talk or like go up to you or anything like that. But like once you come up to me and like we vibe out, then I can go ahead and like start opening up more. But like you'll never see me like being the type, like being the one like putting like all that attention on myself, but more, not that I don't want to talk to people, it's just that I'm just so shy when you first like get to know me, and then I just start to open up more as I get more comfortable in like the situation. So that's just really how I am. So I would say I'm more just of an introvert, and I don't really be going out either. Like you can ask my friends, I do not, like I'm such a homebody. I would rather stay in the house than go out, and I would rather stay in the house, be in my bed. There are times I do want to go out though. Like I'll be like, oh my God, I wish, you know, I could like go out. But other than that though, I'll be like, I'm staying in the house. Okay, question number 3 says, what's something an outsider wouldn't know about your work industry? So I am a manager in the auto loan industry. So that is like my full-time job, I would say. Well, it is. I wouldn't say it is. So yeah, being in the auto loan industry, it definitely, I would say, is, sometimes it can be mentally draining, because especially like during COVID, like when COVID first kicked off, like, you know, we still had to reach out to, you know, customers and, hey, when are you gonna be able to, you know, take care of your car or whatever. And imagine, like, you know, like millions of people have just lost their job, but you're one of the people who didn't. So, and it's like your job is still like asking you like, hey, like we still need to be reaching out to these people. So that's how it was, like not only for my agents, but also like for, you know, myself, when, you know, they'd be like, I want to speak to a manager. You know, obviously the first question I would always get is like, you know, we're in a pandemic, right? Like, I'm like, yeah, I do know we in a pandemic, but like, unfortunately, you know, we have to continue to call and ask. Some people weren't affected, but you know, a lot of the people that we obviously talked to were. And like still till this day, I speak to customers who, you know, are still being affected. Like they're like, I still don't have a job. I still don't have this or that. Like I'm, you know, or like I'm about to lose my house. And then a lot made you feel bad because you did have a job. They're like, well, you wouldn't understand because you have a job. And I'm like, I know. And I felt so bad. But at the same time, like, obviously I needed to pay my bills too. So I'm like, you know, it was definitely like so hard, especially at the beginning. So yeah, obviously if you didn't know that, I am a manager. So I have kind of finished my eyes. I mean, I have. So, and now I'm just gonna move on to my foundation, which, where is it? I'm gonna use this Born This Way foundation. So the next question is, how much time do you spend with your family? I honestly don't spend that much time with my family, which is kind of like really sad, but it's just because like my mom lives in California now. My sister just recently moved to North Carolina. So we're all just kind of like doing our own thing. I do have my dad who still lives here, but it's also just like when you get older, like you realize that yes, everybody has the same 24 hours, but 24 hours is like, well, I mean, obviously you gotta get rest and stuff. So it's like 24 hours and then you have a full-time job. Like I work Monday through Friday. So you try to prioritize it. And that's why like it's like you families get together on holidays, because that's really like when you see your family on birthdays. Like I definitely, me and my dad, we try to have like little Waffle House dates and we try to plan that. And especially after COVID, you know, he has definitely been being more active in like making sure that he sees us. But okay. So the next question is, did you ever hide anything from or lie to your parents? I think we all have. I would say like the biggest thing that I had lied to my parents about, which not necessarily my dad, but my mom, because I predominantly live with my mom in high school, was I was dating a guy. I was a freshman going into like sophomore year, but he was a senior. And my mom hated it. So when my mom found out that like we were like dating or whatever, she was like, oh, you can't see him. Like, no, he's too like older. He's older. He's too old for you. So of course, me being a girl, and when you think like, oh no. So of course I still was seeing him. And then of course, which is why I don't do anything like, cause I get caught. So, and of course I got caught. Not only did I get caught once, but I got caught like multiple times because I was not supposed to be, but we like were in track together. So we seen each other so a lot. Like, even though she didn't want us to like hang out, like we would still hang out. And you know how black moms are, they're crazy. So she was like not having it. And I just continued to see him. And eventually though, she did finally was just like, okay, like there's really nothing I can do. I mean, like there's no more I can do. Like, it's just like, we're just gonna have to deal with it. So then she finally got over it. And yeah, she finally got over it and let us see each other. And I'm not with him anymore, but it's just so funny because like when we broke up, she was just like, so you did all that for nothing? I'm like, no, because at the time, like, you know, that was supposed to be my husband. You know, it's like when your mom doesn't want you to see like a guy, it makes you want to see them like more. Or when your parents don't want you to do anything. So the next question is, have you ever experienced true love, and how did you know? I've never experienced true love. I've been in love before, but I've never, I mean, hopefully I do get the opportunity to experience true love one day, but no, but I have been in love before, which that is good too. Like, you know, I feel like everybody should get to experience love or being in love. The only pro, like there's a pro and con with being in love, because like, the last relationship I was in, it was just very toxic, but you know, you don't recognize like, you know, the red flags or anything because you're in love with that person and you think, oh, well, you know, you can just work it out. So that's kind of the con of like experiencing being in love, is that like when it's time to get out the situation, it's like being in love kind of can stop you from that. But obviously the pro is, you know, you get to be with someone you love. But at the same time, I feel like my last relationship was very toxic, but I could have left earlier, but it was like I didn't, because I was like so in love, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna stay. We're gonna work it out together forever. And I left. It wasn't the one in high school, when I was in high school, but this was my college relationship. Well, kind of college relationship, but I feel like you get to experience true love like when you're not looking for it. Like it just you naturally meet that person, and you know, they just end up being like your person. So that's like kind of where I want to be. It's like, that's how I want my true love, me and my true love to meet. Have you ever lost a friend? If so, why? So I'm really recent friend I lost, which I wouldn't say is recent, but it's been like almost a year, maybe two. I lost a friend, believe it or not, over a table. So my relationship had kind of ended, and I was like hopping to like multiple people. Like I moved back in with my dad, and then that didn't work out, not because of my dad, but because of something else. So then I moved in with my sister, and you know, my sister had a 1-bedroom. So I was like, ooh, my birthday present to myself is I'm gonna get my own apartment. So of course, me and my best friend, I was apartment hunting. I ended up just moving into the same apartment that my sister lived in. And so it was time to like buy furniture. So I bought a couch, bought a bed, bought everything I needed before I moved in. And I was just venting. Like I didn't even know she was gonna offer this. So I was like, girl, I'm not gonna spend no money on like $500 getting a table, because I know I'm not gonna use it, which no table, like I'll probably go like on Facebook Marketplace and find a table. So she was about to move. She was moving back. She was about to move. So she was like, oh, you can have my table. Like, she was gonna sell me her bed too. Like, she was like, you could have my, like, I'll sell you my bed, sell you my table. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, I ended up not being able to get her bed because, you know, she was gonna need it for where she moved, which was totally understandable. Like, I didn't mind that. So I was like, okay, well, you know, how much do you want for the table? And she was like, $20. I was like, wait, really, $20? Are you sure? I was like, just $20. And she was like, yeah, girl, like $20 is good. So set in stone. What time do you want me to come pick up the table? Like, I can come and pick it up anytime. So she texts me and she says, well, I offered it to someone else and they're giving me, I think she was like they're giving me like $100 something for it. So if you don't want to pay me that, you know, I'm just gonna have to give it to them. And in my mind, I'm like, bro, what? Like, it wasn't even about that. Like, I could have paid $120 and it would have been fine. But the thing is that we had already had an agreement. And then I'm like, I've already moved into my apartment. Like, if that was the case, you could have just kept the table or sold it or whatever to whoever, and I could have just ordered. And the table wasn't like, I think the table had like scratches on it and everything. And so I was just like, I might as well just get a new table. You're good. Like, I don't want it. I was just like, oh no, you're good. Like, so we didn't talk, but I didn't think anything of it. Like, I need to be doing my makeup. But we didn't, like, I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to get a new table. Like, it's whatever. Like, it was no big deal to me because I had saved up money. Well, that person, she was like always on social media. Like, she posted like all the time. So I had realized it had been like maybe like a week or so. And again, like, how me and my friends are, that was nothing out of the ordinary. Like, we didn't need to talk every day, because we just didn't need to. So I realized, like, I hadn't seen her post a Snapchat. I was like, dang, where is so-and-so? Like, I haven't seen her. And so I looked her up to make sure she was okay, because I would text her. I was like, dang, hey, are you okay? I see you haven't posted. And she blocked me. And I was like, what? I was like, wait, what? But yeah, she had blocked me. And I was just like, okay. I didn't text her. I just let it go. Cause, you know, I just was like, I'm just not chasing after nobody no more. Like, I'm just not chasing after anyone. Like, if you don't want to be in my life, you just don't want to be. So it's funny because I hit up my other friend and I had told her, and I was like, hey, like, do you think I was in the wrong? Like, should I? And everybody was like, no. I was just like, okay, like, cause, you know, I don't want her to think that I was mad, because I really wasn't. Like, I was like, really, bro? Like, dang, like, really? But it wasn't to, like, imagine a friendship like ending over a damn table. It just didn't make no sense to me. So I didn't text her, and I for sure didn't text her because I was like, I was probably blocked anyways from texting her too. So yeah. So that was the last friend that I lost, because like I said, it's been 2 years, because I don't just be going around hoping I lose my friends. Like, I'm a very easygoing person. But then, so like I said, it's been like almost a year or two. So then I get like on Facebook, like randomly, maybe like almost a month ago, maybe 2 months. And she starts popping back up on my feed. And I was like, so my girl unblocked me? Like, what? I'm like, you could have just kept me blocked. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, if I did something wrong, like, I'm gonna apologize. Now, there are times where, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm in the wrong. But that's something that I'm still working on anyways. But yeah, I was just like, okay. So yeah, a few more touch-ups. So the next question is, what's your game plan in a zombie apocalypse? Honestly, no game plan whatsoever. I'm gonna let nature take its course, because why am I trying to survive a zombie apocalypse? Why would I do that? First of all, and it's crazy because I love zombie movies. I never watched The Walking Dead, but I'm like into the movies. Like, a movie is fine. But like if you've seen all the Resident Evils, not only like the zombies have evolved now. Like, it's not just, oh, shoot them in the head. Like, you gotta do more work to kill them. And that's not work that I'm willing to do. Like, now, like, I swear, from like the last Resident Evil movie that I seen, which was, I think the last one was like years ago, but like they had like tentacles coming out of their mouth. If you've seen World War Z, they started working together. Like, they're smart and more advanced, and I just don't have time for that. Why would I even waste my time and energy? I would say the only reason I would try to survive is if I end up having a family, like, and kids. And of course, like, usually motherly instincts, you want to protect your children. So that is the only reason I would try. But other than that, your girl will be, you want me to fight that? No. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. A quiet place, my girl, no, ma'am. I'm not doing all that. Granted, they had children. Next question, do you believe in life on other planets? I definitely do believe in life on other planets. I think, though, as humans, there's a reason why, like, when you assume things, it's like, okay, cool. Like, we assume, you know, we got aliens, you know, on the planet right now. But no one, I mean, there are people who have said they have seen, but I've never truly seen an alien. So like, I'm like, yeah, jokingly, I'd be like, yeah, you know we got aliens on the planet. But I feel like if I really in like an alien or like another life form that didn't look like me, I would freak the hell out. Like, I would be like, what? So you real? Like, and I feel like that's why, I don't know, as humans, we just have not had that opportunity. Like I said, I've never seen one. If you really have, then okay, I get you. But I've never seen one. And that's why I be like I get why we got scientists and astronauts. But sometimes I'll be like, hey, chill out. Because they be like, yeah, we're trying to communicate with other planets. Like, no, don't do that. Because you don't know who over there. And what you gonna do when they come over here and we can't fend for ourselves? We can't fight. What you gonna do? Nothing. You're not gonna be able to do nothing. So leave them alone. If they wanted to speak with us, they would. Leave them people alone. They minding their business. We need to mind ours. They be like, I read an article, they were like, yeah, we're trying to communicate with other, why are you doing that? Last question is, what is your definition of success? The dictionary defines it as the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. I guess I would say success is kind of whatever you want it to be. I feel like there are small successes that you can have in your life, and then there are big successes, like, you know, like, oh, I want to start, you know, getting back in the gym. Like, that's, and then you start doing it. Like, that's a small success. And then you have like, oh, I want to graduate college, like I want to get a degree, or I want to do this. Like, that's a success. But I feel like people think that success can mean money or fame, or, you know, mostly I would say the number one is probably money. But sometimes it doesn't even have to be that. I would say it's just kind of like whatever makes you happy. Like if like your goal is to like one day get married and start a family or have a successful marriage, like that's success. That's success to you. You don't necessarily have to be rich. You can be broke. You can be, you know, whatever, but at least you have your family, or at least you have like what you wanted in life. I don't think I want to use that. So that's what I would say is like success is kind of like whatever you choose it to be. It doesn't necessarily have to be what someone else is doing, or because, you know, we can compare ourselves to a lot of people, like, oh, that person is so successful, like I wish I was like them, but oh, this is kind of the same. But really it's like, it's whatever you want it to be. Does that make sense? I hope so. So yeah, let me take this. Hopefully my edges, I did try to lay my edges before this. Okay, it came out pretty okay. And then I'm going to setting spray, Charlotte Tilbury. Hair. I need to get it redone. But yeah, so this is the finished makeup look. I tried to do this in 10 minutes. I'm so bad at this. We're probably gonna have to redo this in like a couple months so I can really get it down. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video though, and if you liked the video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel to see more videos from me. And if you already subscribed, then thank you so much for supporting me. I love y'all, and I will see y'all in the next video. Thank you so much.
Bad little flex, she wanna know me. I stay low key, all gas, no brakes, baby, let them hoes sleep. Body on 10, make your girl OD. I get